Let's do a holiday look with this day one of the Advent eyeshadows from Seint Beauty. I just opened it earlier in my stories, day one, and this is the shade. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to fit it with a combination of three other colors, and let's do a whole look. Let me know when you jump on, say hello, share the video, and if you're new here, thank you for joining. If you want to grab any of these colors by Seint, you can go to altheagobble.com and grab them. If you need help with any of the colors, a consultation of colors and color placement, you can go to yes.altheamatchme.com and I can help you there. Okay, let's get ready. I'm a little disoriented, just a little. Had a really crazy evening so far. All right, I'm going to start with the Plush Prep Set or Mist by Seint. I love this. Keep your mouth closed. It's got a lot of good things in it, like hyaluronic acid. It has caffeine in it, just enough just to wake up the skin. It's great to wear by itself. You can actually, I posted a tutorial yesterday where you could use that and actually in mid, like after you've done some toning, or like if you're doing bronzer, or even bronzer then foundation, then do that spray, and it's just kind of lets everything melt together before you do cheek color and eyes and all of that. I'm gonna zoom in just a little. And it dries down nicely, but it doesn't feel sticky, but it's a great primer. What I love about it as a primer is it doesn't feel sticky, and it's not adding like this thick layer of goop. For mature skin, I am 54, so added extra product on the skin is, to me, just doesn't help the skin at all. I typically am not going to be wearing like traditional foundation and concealer. If you've been here a while with me, you know I kind of do things a little bit differently. I'm looking for more of a natural approach. The goal is whatever I can do to where it's not as noticeable on the skin, but it just kind of tricks the eye to thinking, okay, that's her skin. That's what I want. First, this is going to be my palette I'm going to work out of. I do have some other things I might throw in here, but I think I'm going to stick with these colors. I'm not going to use them all. This is what I've been using for several days now. Almost a couple of weeks. I haven't switched out many colors, maybe one or two. I'm first going to start with this Tangerine Dream. And the goal for this color, I know it's an orange, since I'm not wearing a foundation, it doesn't have a lot of white base product in it, color in it. So it's just going to be a lot of pigmented color. So I want to place this to counteract anything that's icy with lack of color, or even where it's kind of dull and shadowy, like you would do with contour. Instead of adding more shadow, it's going to warm up the shadow, and at the same time, it will give a soft contouring effect. I'm going to use this brush called the Shape Brush, and it's like a balm texture. It's going to last me a good long while, and it takes very, very little on the brush, and you're only really getting it on the ends. So I'm just going to take care of the face part first. The goal is to keep things nice and soft. And do you see how that naturally gave me a contouring effect without adding an ashier tone or a cooler tone? It actually warmed up because, you know, being mature and loss of collagen and volume in the face, this is helping warm up that shadow and helps counteract that blue color, the shadowed color, but at the same time, it gives me a nice soft contouring instead of that sharp, harsh line. I like to put it right in here where the skin is really thin next to the bone, which can give it a icy color. You know, see that right in there? Thinner skin. Now this orange tone is going to work with many skin tones. It's not something that you would need to be color matched to. It's going to work across many skin tones. And the reason why is because it's color. It's not got a lot of the white or black pigment in it. So anything blue, ashy, cool, and you just want to warm it up like a bronzer or anything like that, you use a little bit of this. And you see how that naturally gave me a contour, and it's super soft and subtle, and I'm much more hollow on this side, but it just definitely gives a little more warmth and liveliness instead, and at the same time giving a nice contouring without adding additional darkness or shadow or anything cool. I like to take it down in here. A lot of the ladies that I do in person, this is a place where we are very, very light, lack of color. See this part? I like to add a little bit of color right in there, just so that's a little softer. And right here, our lips, you know, the top lip, as we age, sometimes lose a lot of color. I'm fair skin, and I find as fair skin matures, we get very violet in the background of the, you know, very purplish red colors. And I find right here in my lip, it almost looks very violet and loss of color. So you can see how that really helps to even it out, and so it's not standing out, because our lips, the top lip will elongate as we age. So adding, and that makes it, when it comes forward, it's going to catch more light, so it looks lighter, but adding a little warmth to it, do you see, it just makes it come back into balance with the rest of my face. I'm going to go right up in here, this part of my forehead where I have those nice blue veins. And right here on the top part of my nose. My nose has a lot of discoloration in there, so it makes it look like it's really bony, but what it is pigmentation there, a red spot, no pigment whatsoever, and no pigment whatsoever. I guess that's from years of sun damage, and it just makes it look like it's bumpy. Okay, that's with the Tangerine Dream. Again, a color that I really love. I usually have used this color called 05, but this new color, and I'm really, really hoping it sticks around for a very, very long time. I know I've emailed into Seint and said it's got to stay. And you can see the difference is this has just a hint more yellow in it. So it's not truly like a yellow orange or an orangey yellow, but it just has just the slightest bit of yellow pigment in it, which is awesome, because typically the color that's excess on the skin, or on one end of the spectrum, is very, very violet. On the other end of the spectrum, it's very lilac color, very light, and that would be, that yellow would help counteract that and warm it up. So it's a very good color to work across many skin tones. Next, what I'm going to do is take this color called Indigo Contour. I'm actually going to get a smaller brush. Indigo Contour. Now this is a brown, just a medium brown. I can use olive, just anything. And these are all creams, so it makes it really easy to use. And you want a little brush. A little disheartened today. My daughter just had to tell her fur baby bye today. He was not well, and so it's been a tough evening. It's hard to see your children hurt. All right, so Indigo Contour, a little bitty brush, spot brush, and I'm going to add color in all the light areas to help bring in a little more balance. I got a little more, too much. It's okay, so I just kind of tap my finger. I like to start around the eye area first because it tends to be a place, I guess because the skin is very thin and delicate there. So it's a place where we see a lot of imbalance to the rest of the face. And typically we would think that's the reason why concealer is, there's so many brands, there's so many ways, is because it's not working. Concealer is not working. It, young, of course, but the more mature we get, the more discoloration we get for the under eyes, the more texture we have on the underneath of our eyes. Concealer is not our friend. And you can see just by adding color to those light areas already, do you see how that just became more in balance with what's on the rest of my face? Because I am reducing the high contrast between light and dark. And before, we focused on the dark because, well, that's what our eyes are drawn to first. And see, I've gotten too much, but I don't sweat that. I just use like little tapping motions, and then if I get too much, I just tap it away with my finger just a little bit. I don't want to smudge or try to blend it out because it's going to move it into an area that I don't need. It's going to hit an area of excess color and make it even darker, and then we're back to square one. Do you see how that is already very even toned? And you saw I've just dotted some color in the light areas, and honestly I could just, for an easy look, be done with that because it gives me an even skin tone. There's a couple little white spots in my cheek. See that little area right there where it's come down a little bit? So I'm just going to target some light spots in there, and you can see how it's making it softer and less droopy looking. Now your skin, when you're touching it like this, you're going to get a little bit of red. Just let it calm down, and that's the reason why you just kind of touch and go and don't fret over all the little details. Just target the lightest spots first. I'm going to do the other eye. Now this one, both eyes, they're not going to be the same, so I have to treat this one a little differently. Do you see this tendon here and then this harsh shadow there? So what makes that harsh shadow there look like it's dragging down is that shadow's coming down this way. Now it wouldn't bother me if the shadow went this way a little bit because it would look like I'm lifting, my cheeks lifted up. See, if I took that shadow and moved it that direction, it'd be a little bit better. So I'm just going to see that light area right next to the dark. Now, do you see how that line is softer now? It's not going to completely go away because some of the dark needs to be subtracted with a lighter color, and I'll do that at the end. Right in there. And this one, see, I have pigmentation right in there, which makes it look like it's sunken way in. So that area right there is just a collection of some freckles. And so at the end, after I do the whole face, I will come in and subtract that. I find the order in which I'm doing this has helped me not to get so hyper focused on certain details on the face, because we can get a little hyper focus. So do you see that right there? Sometimes I'm in autopilot and forget to explain what I'm doing. But do you notice how I'm not staying in one place at, you know, like I'm gonna do this whole section, then move over here. Kind of bounce around a little bit, but I'm kind of in blocks of areas. I'm blocking off this area and this area, and I work in blocks, but I may not stay in one section and then go to another within that blocked area. And the reason why is we can get a little hyper-focused. Set that over there. So moving around is kind of like, helps me to put everything into balance, and I don't try to overcorrect and plus spend so much time doing small little things. And the goal is very minimal color. It doesn't take a whole lot. A dot or two of this medium brown color is going to bring an entire area back into balance. So do you see how those eyes now, that harsh line, it just amazes me how a little bit of product can do that. Now I'm going to focus on the nose area. And see, it's mainly this little, looks like there's a hump there, and there's not. And it's a little spot that has no color in it. And then there's a spot right in the middle of it that's like a freckle. Do you see how that automatically? And you notice I get too much, which is okay. This is a cream product. You could use an eyeshadow. If your eyeshadow is not too powdery, if it is almost has a cream feel to it, it's a lot easier to control. There's some eyeshadows that even have like a staining effect to it. Those work nicely as well. You can use a tanner. I have tutorials where I've used tanner. I need to do another tutorial on that. I haven't done one in a while. I don't know, sometimes you get into habits of what you don't want to switch out and change your mind every day. So I've been sticking with this palette and using it. So what I love about the system is each of these colors have versatility. And so I don't really have to change out my palette a whole lot. Do you see what I'm doing? I'm moving my head side to side just to see different angles. Now my nose is not going to be exactly the way I want it because there are some dark spots that are throwing off the low to high contrast, but I will take care of that at the end. I don't worry about subtracting until the end because I find if I spend time in this one spot going back and forth, add and subtract color, I've wasted all the time in the world and focus on things that didn't matter, that no one's going to notice anyway. I find if I wait and do all of the balancing of color or subtracting the excess color at the end after I've done cheek color and everything else, then it's actually a lot less than what I thought. Do you see how that's a lot better? Right here on the top part of my nose, it's just some blank spaces. It's from years of sun damage because I was not very good at protecting my face. Now, skincare that I've been doing for about 5-6 years, and recently I just changed my skincare to a Korean skincare. I'm fixing to be 9 months of that, and it's just really accelerated everything, made it so much better, the hydration, everything, along with tretinoin and some skin treatments. So, but I'm still left with some sun damage still yet. And it's not like pigmentation, it's the absence of pigmentation, broken capillaries, that kind of thing. But those will get better in time. Okay, I think I'm pretty happy with the adding color on my nose. Now the only other place I want to do it is right in here. You see right in here, those little harsh, see how as we age, this tends to get deeper and deeper. But I'm going to soften that harsh line. And it starts here. See that excess color? Or right next to it is a very bright area. It's where the light is catching it. So I'm just going to go to the outside of that. And then on the other side of that, see this little area here? And what I'm doing is softening that high contrast. Do you see that? That's a lot softer line. And just like I did this cheek here, there is some little light patches in here. I find the ladies that have the most imbalance in color, tone, or hyperpigmentation on their face in this area, that this concept works a lot easier because it's so easy to see those light areas. So this works in so many different ways to help so many different skin tones. So just pick up a medium brown and try this out. So there again, see this harsh line? I'm gonna go just on the neck, right next to it. Typically, if there's something really dark right next to it, the reason why it's really dark is because there's something really light next to it. And then on the other side of it, now, so you just look at your face. Yours is not gonna be the same as mine, but the concept is always the same. Now, I'm not gonna do this all over my face using this little brush, but you certainly could. But I find in the center part of my face, this is where I get the biggest bang for my buck. Here, I think I said that right. I'm gonna do the same thing on my lip. See that light area? I already added the orange there to warm up the whole lip. But there is some super light areas. You see how it just kind of helped lift that lip just a little by adding that color. Now here in this part of my lip, see this light area and this super dark and then the light area. So what I typically do is just add a little bit of color there, but it's not all gonna go away until I add a subtract from that shadow. It needs some subtracting. So this is not gonna be fully balanced like I want it. And we wanna make sure it doesn't look like melted chocolate on our lip. Just a little bit of balance. And I think I'm gonna stop there. Okay, now I'm going to take a small, there it is. I'm going to take the color 03, and I'm finding, you know, because when you're using skincare and stuff like that, your skin is always changing. Right in here, just where I feel like my skin is doing some changes from skincare, like improving. So it's created some little areas there that are healing. They're like pinkish, bluish color. And I picked up the wrong brush. Look what I did. I put on pink. Sorry. The pink ain't bad. Do you see that? It's not bad either. I'm using a little 03. I mean, just lightly tapping it. I'm not digging into this tin. Just right there in that area. And it's just going to give a nice little even tone while that change is going on the side of my face. And a little bit on my forehead where I have those nice blue veins. All right, now I'm gonna add a little bit of cheek color, and that is when I'm going to use the small end of the shape brush. And remember, the goal here is to use this winter green. So my eyeshadow is gonna be, instead of neutral, it's gonna be, have some more depth, and I want it to be the main attraction. So I want to do something that's a lot softer, but a little bit of flush on the cheeks. So, and even on the lips, I want it to be kind of just nice warm tone. I'm gonna use this color called, I can't remember it. no, I can't see these words. Strawberry, what is that new color? Strawberry, oh, flitter, I can't see it. And I can't, strawberry something, what is it? Strawberry shortcake. Strawberry shortcake, is that what it is? Strawberry something. Shortcake. It's one of the new colors. Love it. I'm going to use it this small end of the shape brush. And I'm going to give just a little bit of tinting right in here. And I like to come up and even lightly. I don't want to shift that, what I did on my eyes. I'm just going to get a little bit of close right in there. See, that just looks like nice, healthy skin. And you can even take it like in an area down here where you would naturally flush. And I'm just lightly tapping this. And a little here. Okay, let's do lips. I'm going to use the color Naomi, which is another new lip and cheek. Love it. It would be in the red orange family. And I'm going to use the small end of the etch brush. And just right in here on the top center, the bottom, in the corners, just enhancing the shape and filling in those areas in the outer perimeter where I have actually is little light spots. That's Naomi. Like a name, Naomi. And now I'm going to actually use Tangerine Dream. Right on the center part. So what this is going to do is subtract and neutralize. If you have very, very dark lips, a lot of blue and mature lips, this color is going to counteract that and neutralize it and leave behind the nice soft peachy tones without looking too orange or coral. Now look at that. See how, love it. And then see, that's just nice, soft face. So the eyes are gonna be the attention. I'm gonna fill in my brows just a little bit. I'm using the L'Oreal, and it's about, I need to go get another one. L'Oreal Brow Stylist. I really like this one. It has a texture of like a crayon. So it makes it super easy just to do a quick little fill in. Love it. I think I would like on my forehead, do you see how it's just super light? Like right in here. Let's take some of that strawberry shortcake, I think it's called. And let's just add a little bit right in there. Just a little bit of warmth. Oh, see? There we go. That's what I needed. Now let's do a little bit of the setting with the feather blotting dust. I've not been a fan of wearing powder with this concept, but with this feather blotting dust, I'm all about it. You will not feel powder on your face. Feels amazing, and you do not lose that glow, which which is so key for mature skin. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and do the eyes. And after we do the eyes, then I will do all the subtracting with the correctors for all the dark around the eyes and finesse everything. So let's go ahead and do the eyes. So I'm going to use, this is the Star, the Winter Green. Isn't that pretty? It's more of a chrome. I'm going to use Butterscotch with it. And I'm going to use Ivy League with it, and I'm going to use You Complete Me with it. So I'm going to use those 4 together. I'm going to go ahead and add some chai lip oil. There's something on. My feet are going to sleep because I'm sitting on. Okay, all right. Hair day has not been my friend. Actually, I don't know what I'm going to do first. I've been contemplating it. I think I do. I know what I'm going to do first. I'm going to start with the darkest. It's the easiest thing to do. I'm going to start with the darkest. So whatever shade you have, start with dark first. This is Ivy League, and I'm going to use the sharp edge of the edge brush. This is called the edge brush, isn't it? Edge or edge? I think it's the edge. And my nose starts to drip. Okay. Get my mirror. And I think now I do have tattooed eyeliner. But I'm going to use this Laca liner, going right over top of it. And I'm taking that edge, just laying it down in there, okay? And then I'm going to leave this brush not like this, but more like this, where the product can get right onto the eyelid. And I'm just going to go straight out. It made me a little wing. That was pretty easy, wasn't it? I'm not going to stop there, but that's what I'm doing first. And I'm going to go right into the lash line. All right. Now I'm going to do that again, get a little bit more. And now I want a little more. I'm not going to go further out with the wing. I just want more of a triangle. So I'm going to go from inner corner to outer corner to that, like that. So go inner corner all the way out. Do the same thing. So I'm going to go inner corner and take it to that end and then fill it in. You gotta like that, right? Okay, now I'm gonna take and just tap right into, not into the waterline. I'm not a fan of going into the waterline just because it actually is not healthy for your eyes and the oil glands. But I'm just slightly below the lash line. And I'm just lightly tapping. Okay. Did I get a little too crazy over here? Maybe not. Okay. Like that. Now I'm going to take Butterscotch. And I'm going to take the small end, and my brush needs cleaning. And I don't have anything here to clean it with. Sitting right here. I'll have to get up and get it. Or I was looking to see if I have a different brush so I don't have to clean this one. It's time to clean my brushes. It really, really, really is. It's time to clean my brushes. I have neglected. Could I use that one? It's still too big. I need something in between. In between. Hang on. It looks like I'm gonna have to clean the brush. This will work. Oh, here it is, right here in front of me. There we go. This one's pretty good. Now I'm gonna take this color, Butterscotch, to about this size brush. And I'm not gonna go all the way to the outer corner, but I went right on top of that Ivy League and just let it set right on top of that. And then I wanna take it across above the crease. Same thing here. Not mixing it, but it's just, I mean, it might end up touching the Ivy League, but I don't want to mix those colors. And then I go above the crease and over. I'm not going to go all the way in. All right, then I'm going to take just a hint right in there. Ooh, really liking that. All right, now I'm going to take the eyeshadow brush, just a little, and then I want to soften that. I don't want a harsh line. I guess we're just going to stay above it and just blend it a little bit into that butterscotch, just a little. You know, I actually like that. Just take a little bit and pull it into that above the crease. Okay, now I'm going to take the same brush I'm going to take the You Complete Me, and I'm going to take a finger. I love using, for shimmers, using the finger, and right here in the center, all the way up, just going to go right in here. It's kind of like in between the little V section of the butterscotch. And I like to go in one direction or the other with all the crinkly eyelids and let that be a very nice shimmer. It just kind of makes it more reflective when you lay it down into one direction. And this is basically right in the center. And now, the wintergreen. Now with the wintergreen, I'm going to use a different finger. And you can see it's like a chrome effect. It even feels different. Feels silky. And I just want to swap it right here in the inner corner and let it mix in with You Complete Me. That is such a cool color. Look at that, how it goes in with that You Complete Me. Wintergreen. This is in the Advent calendar. So I don't know what the others look like. I'm sure they're out there and I'm sure you have seen them, but I am surprising myself. I know I've seen pictures of some of them, but to see them in person and try them out, I have not. So I'm opening one a day for 12 days. You know what I want to do? I want to do something really quick. I'm going to take a little bit of this Ivy League. I don't like that harsh line. See, it makes that little pouch there. And I don't need that. I need a little more up. Right in there. That's a lot better. See that little light spot there? A little more. That's better. Softer. See that? It makes it too light right there. That's better. So this is definitely more of an evening time, party time look, but I went pretty soft with everything else on the face. So this is going to be the, okay, I'm really loving that wintergreen. Really, really liking that. I'm going to take another brush, a fluffy brush. Here's the blur brush. And let's just give a nice little tap to make sure everything is smooth and no harsh lines. So a nice little tap and press in. Well, now let's get a little skinny brush, and before we do the mascara, we're going to take care of any of the distractions. I'm going to use the Y01 for anything that has that yellow orange color. Notice how I just tap in the brush, I lay it down in there, I don't dive it in, just lay it down, and anything that looks like a red raspberry or a blueberry, broken capillaries, a pimple. You remember me adding color to that one area, and now we're subtracting color from the excess. So right in here we have broken capillaries. Do you see how this whole line gets softer because of that? All right, and then a couple little red spots here. Okay, I'm going to clean off my brush with a little cleaning towel, and now I'm going to use 01 for the excess dark, because orange is going to subtract dark, and dark is blue, because orange and blue are opposites of each other. So right in here is not the whole area. It ends up being a dot, a two, like a dark freckle. I don't want to take away all the color, I just want to take out the excess. So it ends up being a freckle or two right in there, in that area. And once I take care of the freckle, do you see how the whole area is softer? And same thing here. Right in there, just a dot or two. If you get too much, just tap it with your finger. See that in there? It's just super hollow. Yay for aging. And right in here, this is a couple of dark spots, and that makes that look recessed. And a couple of spots on top of my nose. And then on the lip, there's a couple of little brown spots. They're super light, probably not even noticeable, but what happens, it gives the illusion of shadow there, and it can accentuate lines. So this 01 takes away the depth of the color, the dark of the color, and helps balance it out. I don't want to put it into that whole area, and see that little dark area right there? See, I'm just a couple of dots. That's all it needs. I think I'm done. Right here on this vein, there's a couple of age spots, sunspots, dull freckles, and it makes them show up. This is another thing you can do. You could take this color, I did a little heavy, and do it right in there to clean up. And there's a nice little vein there. Okay. Now let's put on some mascara and see how this, okay, wait a second. Okay. So if you want more of a dramatic eye and have a lot of color on the eyes, go soft on everything else, more neutral. That way all the attention is on that, and you know, it's not competing with anything else. I think I just got mascara on my eyelid. Nope. I'm using L'Oreal Telescopic. I like it too. I love L'Oreal. Their brow stuff, mascaras, I've tried several of theirs, plus they're like $8. Okay, I'm really loving that wintergreen mixed with, it's not mixed, they marry next to each other with You Complete Me. Okay, all done. I'll sit. Let me look one last time. I think, okay, it's a great little tip. After you've done all of the corrections with the Demi correctors, then do something else like your mascara and everything, and then give yourself one more check and just look at it. Sometimes it dries down and you might have gotten a little heavy-handed in one area, and then you're gonna see it and you just tap it away. So I'm really loving this. I know you probably haven't seen me with a dramatic eye in a while, but I do love it. I think it's will look really good with something, pull all the hair back. Wouldn't that be great? Don't have a hair clip in here, but have all the hair back and all the attention on your eyes. Really love that. This is winter green, and if you haven't gotten the advent calendar yet, I highly recommend it. I can't wait to see the other colors. And they're all in this compact, and you open them up, one for each day, and we still have them available. So I opened day one. Day one, 12 days of Christmas, or leading up to Christmas. Perfect. Any questions you have, let me know. Let me know what you think about the eyeshadow look, and I will share graphics and pictures of what I used, and I'll put it in my stories. If you would like to grab any of these colors that I used, you can go to outtheregobble.com and grab them. If you need any help with color placement, you can go to yes.outtherematchme.com and I'll be glad to help you. So I'm going to snap a couple of pictures so I can see what this, really liking that. These two guys together, if you have You Complete Me, the winter green, the two together, just one and then the next, and it looks like the whole eye is very iridescent. And then adding that depth, you could do a brown, you could do, I did a dark green, and then got to have a little bit of warmth on that eyelid to bring it all together. Really loving it. I will share everything in my stories, what I used, and if you have any questions, let me know. Thank you for joining.